And welcome to our weekly America East Cats Chats. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Anthony Lamb from the University of Vermont. And Anthony, first of all, you're healthy, which is tremendous because you've been battling injuries really for the last year plus. I mean, last year, 17 games you missed. You were out a little bit this season. Before we go to your phenomenal performances so far, how have you dealt with mentally dealing with these injuries last season and then one popped up again this season?
Um, really just staying calm, relaxed, just knowing, trusting that my team's gonna take care of business when they have to, and that all they want me to do is just focus on getting healthy and getting back to playing basketball the way I can. It's really just trying to look at a bigger picture, and it's just really a small in relative to my whole life, and even small in relative to this whole season.
How has this team adapted, though, especially this year when you didn't play, where they were able to adjust not having your 20 plus points per game on the floor?
Yeah, the first game we played UMBC, we could see like how hard it was not having me on the court, just with not like me carrying most of the load most of the time. But we did a great job in the Stony Brook game, bouncing back and adjusting how we play and just taking advantage of the different strengths we have from other offensive players and covering up the defensive holes that we have. So I think we're growing a lot, and those two games will help us in the long run if I ever get in foul trouble or anything like that later in the season.
All right, so Anthony, you're averaging 21 and 8. 2 assists, 2 blocks. I mean, doing a little bit of everything. Total stat stuffer. You had 26 and 14 and 4 blocks in the win over Albany on Saturday. You guys right now are 19 and 5, 9 and 1 in the America East. I mean, I see Tom Brennan over your shoulder, his classic Brennan face behind you. He created the sort of the newer Vermont program that we've seen. And, there was the Lonergan era, then the John Becker. And John Becker now has taken it clearly to another level where you guys are consistently good, consistently one of the favorites. Tell me about the winning culture that is now sort of created through the bloodstream of the Catamounts. What is that like there?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to explain because, like, I've been here so long, so now it just feels normal for me. But even coming in, it's just everybody's really talented at what they do, and they know exactly what they have to bring to the table. And the coaches do a great job of, if you're not on board with us at first, like, it's harder for freshmen to transfer and get adjusted to this type of system, this type of culture where everybody knows exactly what they have to do. So once you're in the system, it feels like I don't have any questions about what I'm supposed to do day to day. I just go out and execute my job, and then it's just everything else falls into line. So it's basically just everybody doing the best they can at what they have to do each day, and that's how we just continually just get better and just stay on track the way we have.
You guys have a great home court. No one wants to go to Burlington. I mean, it's a great college town, but certainly in the middle of January, February, not too warm. Although there are other cold locales in the America East, certainly up in Bangor, Maine. But why do you think, though, you guys have been able to translate the way you play so effectively on the road in the America East? Because it's a given when you're at home.
Yeah, it's really just our defensive mindset. Like, first and foremost, Coach Becker really focuses a lot on just making sure that game to game we're locked into our scouts and locked into what each player has to do individually and really guarding as a team. So they say defense travels. So even when we're having off night shooting, we can always guard people and stay within the game, even if we have to wait for a couple minute stretches until we can get back to scoring.
Anthony, what we've seen over the years is the gap from the power conferences to below has shrunk. The player skill-wise, the skill sets certainly has shrunk. At this juncture, at this time in your career, how much do you feel like you can compete with anybody?
I feel like I've shown that, and I feel like I'm put in really great spots, and we try to schedule hard non-conference games where we can really prove that as a program we can compete at the highest level. So it's really just trying to focus on the day-to-day stuff. So when eventually I get my shot, I'll be ready for it and not trying to jump ahead or try to look past the little games that we have right now, because everything matters, and really just it's the whole process and putting all the pieces together that when I do get an opportunity to do it, I'll be able to perform at the highest level and not be afraid to compete against anybody, no matter what their name is.
So look, Anthony, I don't want to get ahead because you got to get there first. And I mean, no one's going to want to play you guys in the NCAA tournament, but there's no guarantee you can get in without winning the American East. You know that.
Yeah.
The stress level of those days, of that championship game, let's assume you are fortunate enough to be in that championship game again. What's that like the morning of when you know you got to win to get in?
There's a lot of different thoughts that go through your head, I think the most important thing when you're going into that championship atmosphere is just trying to stay relaxed and just try to keep it like a regular day, honestly. Because if you psych yourself out, then you're gonna have a tough time. But if you're just able to just stay on course and just stay consistent with like whatever you do day to day, then it makes it a lot easier to play. You can have some fun playing in the game, not put the stress all in. Because the pressure's not all in my head. It's really everybody together to combine effort. So it's not my fault we lose the game or just one individual person. It would be everybody's fault and everybody's responsibility to do their job.
Anthony Lamb having an unbelievable season, career at Vermont. Selfishly, I hope you guys are in because I know you guys can certainly recreate some of the magic. I was at that game where I think TB is over your shoulder there. His arms were up high when they knocked off Syracuse and Worcester. Something like that could occur this March again because you guys got something special brewing. Appreciate you taking some time, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.